Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. It means everything to me. Before we get started, I just wanted to say to everybody that has been reaching out to me, showing me support, I appreciate you so much. When I tell you I appreciate you, I truly, truly mean it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are just the best, and I thank you, thank you, thank you. Trey Eric Sessler was born on August 3rd, 1989. He lived in Walla, Texas with his parents and older brother. Trey had an average school career. He was far from popular, but did have a small circle of friends. In 2006, he started a YouTube channel he would call Lens Cap Productions, with his channel focusing mostly on reviewing Japanese anime and video games.
This Rurouni Kenshin director's cut of what many say is one of the best animes they have ever seen. Well, Rock, Revy, Benny, and Dutch, the four notorious criminal pirates, make up the cast of this show that we're going to be reviewing, The Black Lagoon. Alright, this being the first episode and review, I kind of wanted to start kind of strong and get this one out of the way. So that's right, I'm probably doing Inuyasha, the show that went on and on and on. But that's cool, right? Because we all love to watch shows that never stop. And not to mention, it had the shittiest ending I've ever seen out of any show, movie, play, Broadway musical, anything.
Eventually, his content would change from reviewing anime video games to very questionable content, focusing on things such as the Columbine shooting, serial killers such as Ted Bundy, animal abuse, and violence. Later on, he would begin making videos of pretending to shoot himself or random buildings with a real gun. He would confess to police that it was during this time that he began killing animals and starting small fires for fun. February 2012. Trey posted a video called Mr. Anime is Planning Something.
Hi everybody, it's Mr. Anime here, and I'm recording on my MacBook's web camera, and my MacBook's from like 4 years ago, so the web camera's not that great, so you'll have to bear with me. This is just an update video to let you guys know that I'm going to reward myself with probably a 2 or 3 week break coming up here from YouTube videos, anime reviews in particular. I might do some blog stuff. I want to thank you guys a lot for sticking with me and watching the channel. I got more subscribers than ever. I have more views than ever, and everything is going really good. So I'll probably be putting out some blog videos, like I said, and I hope you enjoy those blog videos. I hope you definitely enjoy those.
It was in this video that he let his subscribers know that he would be taking a 2 to 3 week break to reward himself. March 13th, 2012. Trey posted a video talking about a new job that he found in a field that he loved. He would go on to tell subscribers that it would prevent him from uploading as frequently. He would also say in his video that he was going to work in the movie industry. March 20th, 2012. Trey lured his mother Rhonda to the garage in their home. Once there, he shot her 4 times. He would then enter the family home and shoot his brother Mark twice, but didn't kill him. Mark made his way to the bathroom, but not without Trey noticing. Trey shot at the bathroom door until it opened. Once it did, he would find his brother laying dead on the bathroom floor in a pool of blood. Lastly, he found his father-in-law, who was sleeping in the living room until he was woken up by the sound of gunshots. Trey would shoot and kill his father as well. One of Trey's friends would later say that him and his father had a lot of tension between them, but he believes the murders were a result of drug abuse, binge-watching murderers, and his twisted obsession with violence. Trey would later admit to police that after the murders, he went around and shot each family member in the head just to ensure they were actually dead. He would then destroy every piece of furniture in the home, including decorations. Then, at approximately 2 a.m., Trey would send messages from his parents' phone saying that they won't be showing up for work the next day. He would then write all over the doors and walls of the home things like, "I will never forgive myself. I don't know why I did this." He then made his way back to the garage where his dead mother's body was, laid down next to her, and went to sleep. After waking up from his nap, Trey took all of his weapons, 100 rounds of ammunition, and headed over to his old school, Waller High School, with the plan to carry out the biggest mass murder in history. His parents not wanting to find out about the school shooting would be his motive for murdering them. Thankfully, he decided not to follow through with this plan and ended up going to a friend's house instead. Zog would confess everything to police, and it is said that he would occasionally show remorse for the killing of his entire family. During a search of Zog's college dorm room, police found his plans to shoot up his former high school along with weapons. August 2nd, 2012, Trey pled guilty and was sentenced to life in prison. Elliot Rodgers was born on July 24th, 1991 in London, England. His father was a British filmmaker, mostly known for his 2009 documentary, Oh My God, and for his work as a second unit director on The Hunger Games. The family would later immigrate to the United States and settle in Los Angeles, California. He began receiving psychiatric treatment at the age of 8 for a variety of mental illnesses. He would also be prescribed medication to help with these disorders, but refused to take them. His mother would state that she believed he suffered from Asperger's syndrome, but was never formally diagnosed. He would be heavily bullied in school and found it quite difficult to make friends, although past classmates would later say that Rodgers was the one that would refute people's attempts at forming friendships with him. He decided to start a YouTube channel as an outlet for his feelings. The channel would focus on him talking about his loneliness and rejection. June 4th, 2011. Rodgers would move to Isla Vista to attend Santa Barbara City College, but would drop out in February of 2012. July 20th, 2013. Rodgers attended a party. While at the party, he made attempts to interact with a few girls, but was ultimately shot down. It was at that point that he tried to push girls off a 10-foot ledge, but failed and was instead pushed off himself by a few men at the party. He left the party but later returned to retrieve sunglasses. It was at that point that he would get into physical altercation with the men that pushed him off the ledge. Investigators would later determine that Elliot was the aggressor in the fight. He would write in his manifesto that it was this incident that sparked his plan for his murderous rampage. September 2013. Rodgers began visiting shooting ranges and purchased 3 handguns, a Glock 34 and 2 6-hour P266s from 3 different cities. His parents became alarmed at his content and phoned police. When officers showed up to interview Elliot, he downplayed the situation and was able to convince officers that his parents were overreacting. He would later write in his manifesto that if officers searched his apartment that day, his plans for the killing spree would have been ruined. May 23rd, 2014. Rodgers started his rampage. He would stab his 2 roommates, Hong and George Chen, to death, and then stab their mutual friend David Wong to death. At 9:17 p.m., Elliot uploaded his final YouTube video titled Elliot Rodgers Retribution, in which he describes his plans. Immediately after the upload, he would send his manifesto to 34 people, which included his parents, other family members, his therapist, former teachers, and childhood friends.
And this 141-page manifesto detailing the troubled life of an alleged killer, from childhood bullying, sibling rivalry, fantasies about killing his father and stepmother, and his most repeated grievance, being rejected by women.
Really upset about why is the world so unfair to him, and like, oh, I'm a good-looking guy, and why a girl's falling for those ugly fat guys. That's what he mentioned. And I told him, appearance is not everything.
Because Roger was never institutionalized for mental illness, he could legally buy 3 handguns along with hundreds of bullets. But his actions were so troubling, his parents alerted police. They went to his apartment less than a month before Friday's attack.
The deputies contacted the suspect at the time, found him to be polite and courteous. He downplayed the concerns for his welfare, and the deputies cleared the call.
But Roger himself offered one clue, writing, "If they had demanded to search my room, that would have ended everything."
He then headed over to the Alpha Phi sorority at the University of California with the intent to murder the entire sorority house. When no one answered his knocks at the door, he shot 3 sorority sisters who happened to cross his path, killing Catherine Cooper and Veronica Weiss and injuring Bianca DeCock. He then drove into town and fired at the Isla Vista Deli Mart from his BMW, killing student Michael Martinez. After this, he drove south on Embarcadero del Norte on the wrong side of the road, where he fired at two pedestrians on the sidewalk, missing both of them. He continued to drive south, shot at and missed a woman, turned east on Del Playa Drive, then made a U-turn and drove west, where he exchanged fire with a sheriff's deputy who was responding to a 9:27 p.m. 911 call and struck a bicyclist. Students at the Isla Vista Church on Del Playa were completing a service of worship at the time and heard gunfire. Turning north on Camino del Sur, Rogers shot and wounded 3 more people, then turned east on Sábado Tarde and struck 2 skateboarders and shot another person at the intersection. He again exchanged gunfire, this time with 3 sheriff's deputies, and he was wounded in the left hip. He would continue driving, turning south and then turning west again on Del Playa, where he would strike another bicyclist and then crash on the north sidewalk just east of the intersection of Del Playa and Camino Pescadero. When officers finally caught up to Roger, they found him dead with the gunshot wound to his head. Police said that he apparently committed suicide. A total of 7 people died, including Elliot Rogers, and 13 others were wounded. Rogers' last words in his manifesto were, quote, "I didn't start this war. I wasn't the one who struck first, but I will finish it by striking back. I will punish everyone, and it will be beautiful. Finally, at long last, I can show the world my true worth." End quote. December 2020. 30-year-old Stas Reeflay forced his 28-year-old girlfriend Valentina out on the balcony in sub-zero temperatures while she was only wearing underwear. Even worse, this sick torture was done on a live stream where people paid him $1,000 to carry out this act. Valentina would tragically die while out on the balcony. He could be heard saying on the video, "Valia, are you alive? My bunny, what's up with you? Valia, Valia, damn, you look like you're dead." He then went on to tell his tens of thousands of followers, "Guys, no pulse. She's pale. She's not breathing." This is not the first time that Reeflay has done sick things to Valentina online for money. He sprayed her in the face with pepper spray once on a live stream. He was sentenced to just 6 years for the murder of Valentina.
Ну дайте мужики с фазером, пусть поговорят.
April 10th, 2009. 29-year-old YouTuber Anthony Powell murdered 20-year-old Asia McGowan. Asia was a student at Mackenzie Fine Arts Center at Henry Ford College in Dearborn, Michigan. She had a passion for dancing and had dreams of becoming an actress. She was also a very outspoken advocate for women's rights and was an atheist. Powell was a known critic of atheists and black women and would bully Asia endlessly on YouTube with hateful comments, even making fake accounts to leave hateful messages. On April 10th, Powell walked into Asia's classroom and ambushed her with the shotgun. After killing Asia, Powell would turn the gun on himself. Students, obviously terrified, began running, and just like that, all these lives destroyed for no reason.
Asia McGowan had a flair for dancing and aspirations of being a star.
She was really an inspiration. She was really resourceful, ambitious, independent, talented as far as acting, dancing, comedy. She was a natural.
Her first love was dance.
She loved to dance, and then she was definitely going into acting. She can do it all.
The 20-year-old's dreams were forever shattered Friday afternoon at Henry Ford Community College. Police say by fellow theater student 28-year-old Anthony Powell. Police were called to the Fine Arts building just before 1 o'clock. Someone called in shots had been fired, and when they got inside, the students were dead.
Officers were able to enter one of the rooms in the Fine Arts building and discovered 2 deceased parties.
The college campus immediately went into lockdown mode until the situation was deemed safe. Police still aren't releasing a motive. Asia's family and friends say she never dated Paul, but he was fascinated by her and followed her life through social networking websites. Sadly, the girl who loved performing will never take the stage again.
If you're a black female, you talk about you want respect. What do you want? Why do you deserve respect? The fairy tales of evolution is entertaining, it is satire, and this comment is the funniest comment ever.
Randy Stair was a YouTuber who went by the name Andrew Blaze online and had a fairly large following. His channel started out as funny and entertaining, but would then take a drastic turn. He began talking about his idolization of the Columbine shooters and his obsession, love, fascination, and desire to be with a cartoon character. He would then go on to document his plan to commit mass murder. June 7th, 2017. At approximately 10:52 p.m., Randy arrived for his scheduled shift at Weiss supermarket in Eatontown, Pennsylvania, where he had worked for the past 7 years. However, this night would be much different from the others. He would begin his shift, same as usual, stocking shelves and cleaning up. But then, while his other co-workers were preoccupied, he began barricading each one of the emergency exits with wooden pallets. His 4 co-workers that were working that evening, Kristen Newell, Victoria Brong, Brian Hayes, and Terry Lee Sterling, had no idea what was about to unfold. During this time, Randy was also tweeting statements such as, "To all the loving, caring, beautiful people in the world, I hope you can find it in your hearts to forgive me. I robbed you of an angel, and things happen for a reason, good or bad. And I'm so sorry that things have to end like this. I speak for all of us when I say that." Just before midnight, Randy went out to his car and began to text his mother. He told her about a journal he kept, detailing the planning of the events that were about to occur. He also told her what he would like her to do with his remains once he was deceased. He then puts on black eyeliner and black lipstick to look like his favorite cartoon character, Ember McLean, from the series Danny Phantom. He takes off his red work shirt and reveals a white shirt underneath that says, quote, "It's our time to rise." He gets a duffel bag with 2 shotguns and ammunition from the trunk and walks back into the supermarket to rain absolute terror on his unsuspecting coworkers. Randy finds Victoria Brong first, standing in the grocery aisle, and shoots her twice. Kristen Newell was also in the same aisle as her, but had her headphones and music on. But even muffled gunshots got her attention. She looked up from stocking the shelves and saw Randy standing over Victoria, who was laying on the ground bleeding. She watched Randy walk over and shoot Victoria 2 more times. According to Kristen, she briefly made eye contact with Randy, but she was too terrified to speak or move. For some unknown reason, Randy spares her life and moves on to the next aisle, where he shoots Terry Lee Sterling twice in the back. Kristen runs over to Victoria and finds that even though she's badly bleeding, she still has a heartbeat. She calls 911, and while looking around for where Randy might be, she ducks and covers and runs to try to find a way out. She finds the exits are blocked, but manages to force the pallet away from the main door and is luckily able to escape into the parking lot. She runs far away from the store and hides in a bush until the police arrive. Back inside the store, Randy finds Brian Hayes working in the bakery section and shoots him 5 times. His plan has pretty much been carried out. Everyone who was in the store had been shot except for Kristen, who managed to escape. So Randy walks around the grocery store shooting at different items on the shelves, cash registers, whatever he feels like, including a few propane tanks that he was hoping would explode, but thankfully they didn't. He walks back to the bakery and finalizes his plan by shooting himself. Victoria Brong, who was 26, Terry Lee Sterling, who was 63, and Brian Hayes, who was 47, are the victims killed that evening. It has all been carried out and done according to his sick, twisted plan.
a plan that he shared with the world so far in advance that it could have been prevented if only somebody had taken him seriously and taken action.
He just had a ammo bag, which is a duffel type that he carries ammunition in, but the actual shotguns were, one was carried in his hand and one was on his shoulder with a sling.
At this point, state police are looking into why all of this happened. Randy Stair has a very large social media and digital footprint, some of it appearing to show him preparing for the attack. In a journal entry dated Monday, Stair said he was ready to die, claiming to be a girl trapped in a man's body. He wrote, "The girl in me is clawing to get out. 62 more hours."